Hello guys, this is Bhagesh Codebased, and today we'll be learning how to build a virtual machine. So basically a virtual machine is a clone of your actual machine or PC or a laptop which is hosted virtually, that is on the cloud. So first and foremost, let us clear out what are the uses for this virtual machine. Firstly, you can use virtual machine for cases wherein you are working on a project and you don't want to save the files or the programs or the contents on your personal laptop or PC. Secondly, you can use virtual machines wherein you want to perform tasks like training a machine learning model or rendering a video or installing a certain software which your system isn't compatible with. You can do it on virtual machine. It's very useful when your system or PC is low end and you still want to perform tasks which are CPU intensive or GPU intensive. So first and foremost, things you need to create a virtual machine are firstly a Google account, a Gmail ID per se, secondly a bank account, and third will be a browser, an accessible browser. So what you have to do first is just type in GCP and hit enter, and you just have to click on the first link which you get, that is Google Cloud free trial, and they offer up to $300 of free credits. If you convert it, that's around 22,000 INR. You just have to click on the first get started for free button, and it will guide you through a series of process where it will ask you to enter your bank details, your email IDs and Google credentials. You don't have to worry much about it because it's Google, first of all, and secondly, they are not going to charge you anything. Like, just to confirm whether you're a human being or a bot, they might deduct at the max 5 rupees and nothing more than that. And once the trial phase is over, they are not going to deduct anything until you manually put it on auto billing. So yeah, once you're done signing up, instead of sign or enroll account or an enroll button, you will be prompted with a go to console button. So you just click on here. This landing page is called Google Console. This might seem different from what you have right now. You don't have to worry about that because I have customized it a bit. What we are concerned with here is the menu button. So all you have to do is, once you're there on the Google Console, click on the menu button and search for compute engine, which is right here, and from here pick the first option, that is VM instances, which stands for virtual machine instances. Once you do that, you'll be prompted with 3 options. One, create, import and take the quick start. If you want to learn further or you want to know more than just creating virtual machines and using it for a specific task, you can go have a look at the quick start, which will guide you through the process of how to create virtual machines, how to maintain them, what are the different types of virtual machines available, what are the different OSs which are available. For now, let's just click on create. So here you can name the virtual machine. This can be any name. Since I'll be creating a Ubuntu virtual machine, I'll be naming it as Ubuntu 1. And just in case if you have multiple Ubuntu virtual machines running, you can label them individually by using the add label option, but for now it's just one, so I'll just leave it as it is. And the most important thing here is to select a region and a zone. The region would be the closest region which is mentioned here. Since I'm in India, it would be Mumbai. And yeah, you have to pick a region which is closest to you, for faster configurations and faster responses. And from the zone, you have 3 options. You can choose any one of them, and each one of them provide additional configurable abilities, but for now let's not go there, and let's just select the section B. Next is choosing the type of machine. Don't mess with the series, let it be as it is. The type of machines, from here if you go to C, you're given options from selecting one virtual CPU with up to like 614 MB of memory, up to 160 virtual CPUs with 3.75 terabyte of memory. You can choose any one of them. It's totally up to you. Since it's a demo purpose, I'll be using 4 virtual CPU and 15 GB of memory for all the gamers out there and the people who want to use GPU and stuff. Firstly, you can select the type of CPU platform which you prefer. If you have any knowledge about this, you can just pick the one of your preference. Or the people who want to know about the GPU, or the people who want to game with this. So you get NVIDIA Tesla T4. That's the only GPU available right now, and you can take up to like 4 GPUs. And yeah, you can enable virtual workstation as well. For now, for the purpose of this demo, I'm not using GPU. So in case you are interested in, you can add, and I'll tick this on since I'll be capturing the screen while doing the virtualization. You can turn it off. That won't be an issue. And after that, just come down to a section named boot disk, and from here we can change a few things. Firstly, the type of operating system. You can go to Windows Server if you want, but since I want to build a Ubuntu virtual system, I'll be choosing Ubuntu. And from here you can choose the version of Ubuntu. Even for Windows you'll get different versions, so you can check that out. And I'll be choosing 18.04 LTS for mine. And from here you can either choose a standard persistent disk or an SSD. I'd go with SSD, and you can set let's just test it out, like how much storage can you put in. So if you see, it's prompting me that the maximum size is 65,536. that's around 65 TB of storage. I don't need that much now. I'll just go with 10 GB. After this, you just select allow full access to all cloud APIs, since you'll be using APIs to interact with the system or virtual machine, and allow traffic from both HTTP and HTTPS, and that's it. You just have to click create after this. So once you see a green tick, that means your virtual machine is ready to use. But for now it's just a terminal. That is, if I SSH into it, you'll see a Ubuntu terminal instead of a full-fledged operating system. So we will have to run 4 commands to convert this terminal into a full-fledged operating system, and they are pretty simple. I'll link them down below in the description, or just mention them. You don't have to worry about it. If you are familiar with Ubuntu, you can just understand what the command is, or you can just type it out and you'll be done. So the first command I'll be using, let me just enlarge this. The first command I'll be using is sudo apt-get update, just to update the system. So let's just do, okay, the system has been updated. Let me just clear this off. The next command is sudo apt-get install -y XRDP. This will enable the XRDP graphical user interface abilities to your virtual machine. This will take around like 3 to 4 minutes based on the configuration of your virtual machine. Okay, this seems to be done. Let me just clear it off. Yeah, so once you're done installing XRDP, you'll have to run the same command again, but this time we'll be installing XFCE version 4. Again, this is a graphical user interface plugin. This specific set of commands are for Ubuntu. Any distribution of Linux can be activated with these set of commands. Okay. And the last command is sudo service xrdp restart, and that's it. If it doesn't give you any error, that means XRDP service has been successfully installed and restarted. Now all we have to do is provide a password so that it's only accessible by us and nobody else. To do that, type sudo -s. We are entering the root user directory. From here we'll type passwd. This will help us in setting the password. you can't leave this field empty. Make sure to set something which is very easy to remember. Since it's Ubuntu 1, I'll just type in Ubuntu 1. I'll type the same password again, Ubuntu 1. Yeah, password has been set successfully. Now all you have to do is minimize this. After this, click on refresh. Once that is done, in the external IP section, you'll see this IP address. All you have to do is copy this to the clipboard. Once you're done with that, go to Windows search and type remote desktop connection. All you have to do right now is paste the copied IP address and click on connect. And that's it. Virtual system is ready to use. Now how to log in is you just have to type in root for the username and the password you created in the terminal. For me it was Ubuntu 1, so I'll just click OK. Once you're in the system, make sure to click on use default config. Now don't click on one empty panel. Once you click on that, and voila, you have the entire operating system running on your PC. So let's just confirm what are the configurations that we have right now on this PC. And let me just type in uname -a. Let me just enlarge this. So as you can see, this is a Linux Ubuntu virtual machine version 5.3. Let's search for lshw -short. This will give you details about the RAM speed and the maximum RAM supported by the server, and the speed is 2 gigahertz. Okay, let's try to find out the hardware information. Let me just clear this out. To find hardware information, type in ls CPU. So as you can see, it's 32 as well as 64-bit supported, and Intel processor, again 2 gigahertz. If you're wondering like how to interact with the system, it'll be same as you interact with Windows or any other operating system. It has the same folder system. You can install the programs of your wish, render videos, play games, do whatever you wish to do with this system. And as per the charges, if I go back to create virtual instance, if you see, you have been provided with around 22,400 INR, 22,500 INR. So if you see with the configuration I have right now with one virtual CPU and various facilities available, it's charging around $0.034 hourly. So if you keep it on for an entire month, it'll be around $24.67 roughly per month. And you don't have to worry about anything as to this won't charge from your bank account. This will only be from the credits which they have provided. One more thing is you can minimize these virtual CPUs and use your main computer as it is. One more good point about this is, if I go back to the instance which I created, you can create multiple instances and interact with them directly via SSH or a remote desktop connection. Again, just by logging into different external IPs, you can create as many virtual machines as possible with different operating systems, not just Ubuntu. Okay, before we end with this video, I'll show you how to exit. One way is just click on this root option, and you can shut down the system like a normal Ubuntu or Windows system. Let me just shut this down. You'll get a prompt saying the session has been ended. So if you want to save on the credits and not spend them in a month or something, what you can do is either stop the service or delete the service. Stop service will stop all your running virtual instances, but will still be charged for all the storage devices which have been allotted to you. Reset, you can use this option when there's a problem with the Ubuntu system or the virtual machine and it's not booting up, or there's some error. You can just reset it right from here, or delete it completely, just in case if you want to erase and you're done with working, or you have already transferred all your working files on the cloud or something. I'm going to just delete it, and within seconds this virtual instance has been deleted. You can go back to creating new instances, or experiment around. Yeah, that's all for the video. This is Bhagesh Codebase signing out. Thanks for watching.